Hello everyone, it is Tuesday, April 8th. It is 8:17 in the morning and we are officially starting week 2 of the Artist Way. I essentially did the majority of the assignments. The only one that I didn't do was going for a walk, and at the end of each week there's a check-in that you need to do, and so I will be doing that at some point. Today I do have a busy schedule with helping a friend with filming content for their social media. So that is a priority after the gym. And so I'm not sure how much time I'll have today to read and to catch up, but I did get to decorate my now sketchbook for this session, this time round. It's so cute. I basically like collect stickers and I just wait to use them. So I did do the assignments. It was a little challenging this time around to find 3 monsters. Kind of crazy that the monsters I ended up finding for this time round and last time round were family members, but that's just because, you know, they're the people who shape you the most and you're around them a lot. And again, there was only one sort of perception of what an artist was or what an artist did. And so it's crazy that the people who were monsters then are now some of my champions or cheerleaders, but it's just wild to see how much that's transformed. And some of my like cheerleaders include like my sister, my friend Andrew, my cousin Jenny, who's the one that got me this book. And so I think that while I may have some monsters, and I've, you know, dealt with a lot of the grieving. I cried yesterday. I dealt with a lot of the grieving that this book has brought me the first time around. It's kind of still wild to think that I'm still grieving some parts of me. Oh, and I did practice. I got like the first couple chords of Volare. So let me show you that. Okay, so it starts off with a C. And then I struggle with the nail part because my nails block a lot of the strings. And so this chord was these two, this one, and then this one, I believe. It's gonna sound rough, I'm telling you that right now, because it's very hard for me to get it with my nails. Yeah, see? I like hit. I was just trying to memorize the chords. And then that one switches to this one. No, it switches from that other one to this, then to this. So at least I got the first 2 chords. It sounds like it's a song. Contigo, mami, bailaré contigo. So yeah, I think the strumming I have like somewhat of an idea for, but it's again the nails that block it. But I kept seeing videos of like Dolly Parton with like long nails being able to play the guitar. Okay, so the SD card got full, so I'm filming on my phone. Okay, so Dolly Parton, there were some videos of Dolly Parton playing the guitar, and they were saying that like her nails would hit certain parts of it, or she would use certain fingers to cover up most of the strings, or would you call them frets? And that's kind of what I was doing, but it does hurt your hand after a while. But yeah, I just got to keep practicing with it, and then I think I'll be able to get somewhat of the hang of it. And it might not sound perfect, but it's either that or cut my nails. Like I said, I had a busy day. I did go to the gym, but it was a very quick workout. It was only 3 exercises. 3? Yeah, 3 exercises. Just because I had a busy day. A lot of filming, a lot of editing, a lot of stuff. Just reposted a TikTok that I made with my friend, so you should go check it out. Her is at Aesthetic Edge. She laminated and tinted my eyebrows, so today you can't get them wet for 24 hours, so I had to like wash just the bottom part of my face to get ready for bed. I didn't do my morning pages this morning. The time kind of just slipped me because I knew that I had that time commitment. But I will be doing my Mimi's pages because we're going to go Mimi soon. So I'll probably just do this, and honestly, I'm pretty tired, but if I'm kind of up for it, I will, I'm tired because I didn't go to bed early last night. We ended up having guest over, and that's what kept me up. So I'm going to do my Mimi's pages and then potentially draw my iPad. But I might just go to bed because I'm tired. And this is how like a lot of my days are. I don't really have too much time to like extend on social media, or like I'm barely even on it. Like I literally just go on it to post, and like just the entire day I'm just like doing what I gotta do. I haven't even finished my Sudoku for today. Oh, also I hit a year on Duolingo. I've hit a year multiple times before. I think my longest streak was on that or Elevate for 2 years. I think it was Elevate. I think Elevate, maybe we'll say I got like, maybe I did get 2 years on Elevate. Oh, and I got to finish my like like a word finder one. So I got to finish 2 brain games and this. So honestly, I probably would do both of those before bed, and then draw if I have the energy for it, because bitch is kind of tired. But I had a burger today from Portillo's. Oh, delicious. The buns were so soft. Like the food was fire. So freaking good. And I'm really excited to see how my eyebrows turn out tomorrow. I haven't had anything like this done before, so it feels kind of cool to be exploring something new. You know, experimenting with my look a little bit, because I get kind of bored of the way I look. So I like to get tattoos or piercings, or, you know, just like spice up my life with myself kind of thing. When I brush my teeth and everything, so that's why my retainer's in. We'll check back in tomorrow. I am going to start my morning pages. I am ready to go to the gym. It is cold outside and it's supposed to be rainy today, so we are cozy. And it is a leg day. And again, morning pages on my to-do list today. Morning pages, reading this, and I am currently color grading a vlog filmed for my eyebrows, and I gotta say they look fantastic, and I will be working on that. That will be posted onto my TikTok hopefully in the next couple days. My friend Andrew had made a LUT for me for the podcast, and so whenever I tried it, which obviously the lighting and everything's so different, whenever I tried it on the footage I got from there, it just looked terrible. And with the way each LUT, like each component of the LUT is, all of the nodes, they are hard for me to figure out like where things are supposed to be edited at. So I'm like trying to learn, which is what I was kind of doing watching him. It's just, again, like I'm a hands-on learner. I'm a hands-on learner. So watching somebody do something on a video is not the same as me sitting there and actually doing it, which is why I've been sitting and doing it on my own, like watching a tutorial and following through with it. So those are the goals for today. I'm ready to have a productive day. I can't believe it's Wednesday already. Like the week is going by so freaking fast. So the book I have to take breaks from. I think most people probably have to, because it's just, you know, it's a lot of heavy stuff that you're reading and that you're having to process. So, yeah, I'm going to take a break from reading. I kind of want to just put on a movie and draw on my iPad. I was watching Made in Manhattan the other day, yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday. I did all my brain games as soon as I woke up this morning. So I don't have any of those to do. And I already reached my hour limit on social media. So, and I'm really tempted to just ignore it. But I'm like, no, must pour into you. But I'll be entertained by watching TV in the background. So, you know, I won't be extremely bored. And I love drawing. I drew a drawing last night. I'll post it here. I was just like, fucking, what do I draw? So I had started on the cat like a couple days ago, and I was like, it's an ugly cat. And I started getting my head, blah, blah, blah. Then I was just like, yeah, it reminds me of Miko. It's just like, meow, meow, bitch. And so then I did it. And then a bunch of people were like, it's so funny. Oh my gosh. Like, love it. And it just makes you feel good whenever, I guess, people resonate with whatever silly art you put out there. But yeah, I love that on my creates page I can just like, it's honestly like almost like a drawing diary that I have of just like drawings and doodles that I've done. It's not all of them, believe me, I have a whole other database of stuff on my Procreate, but it's fun that I am able to just like put myself out there in another way. It's what a lot of my internet adventures are just me putting myself out there in all my creative forms. And thank you to everybody who follows my accounts and who joins in on all my endeavors, because Lord knows I have a lot of them. To the iPad we go. I am going to do my morning pages, and I have a calling to do a tarot reading. So I'm going to be doing that. There's a lot for me to do today in terms of like everything. So editing tomorrow's podcast episode. You know, I'm going to collect a con on Saturday. So I'm going to try to see if I have the energy to film an episode. Maybe I'll film tomorrow, depending on what feels right for me. And then that way I'm not like over the weekend, like, I got to get something done. Because honestly, what happens is that the days just get so, I don't know, it just feels like whenever you are like building something, it just feels like work never stops in a good way. But it's also like, damn, like I'm kind of tired because my weekends are also spent doing work too. So it can, you know, be a little exhausting sometimes. And I also have to read, and, you know, my to-do list is very long. I'm going to be making laundry detergent from scratch. So we're going to try that. I'm like, you know, going to more like eco-friendly options. And I've tried the sheets, and I like the sheets, but my partner doesn't. He's not crazy about them. So I'm like, okay, fine, let's try me making it. Or else we're gonna, if he doesn't like it, it's just gonna be like, I have my own laundry detergent, you have yours, because I definitely want to switch to more eco-friendly options. I'm almost done with my shampoo and conditioner, so I think in the next couple weeks, maybe I'll be either making my own or trying to find a eco-friendly option. I did see that Arm & Hammer released a set of sheets for laundry, so it's cool that more brands are releasing stuff like that. Okay, let me just start my morning pages, or else I'll be here yapping all day. I had a revelation while doing my morning pages. We scribbled everywhere. So I used to have a journal growing up. It was purple and it was just so cute. I believe it had like sports stuff on it. It had like little basketballs, or I don't know, like maybe it was baseballs, but I just remember it being like this like light purple journal. In there I used to write songs, and a lot of them were like love songs, and you know, I'm like 8, 9 years old, like writing these love songs. Honestly, I want to say I was as young as 7. And I used to rip out the pages, and I'm not sure if it was because, you know, my brothers, I have 2 older brothers, that they would like pick on me or mess with me, you know, like it's just easy to pick on the little one. I do have a younger sister, but I mean, she was just so much smaller that it was like, you're going to pick on a toddler, or I guess like a really little kid. Because if I was 7, she was 5, you know, like you're really going to pick on a kindergartner. Like, so I used to rip out these pages and I used to write a lot of songs. And I remember my mom telling me like, well, what do you know about love? You know, even into middle school, she's like, you don't know anything about love. And I'm like, but I love him, Mom. And that's really how it was. And I think that obviously this is not a space for anybody to judge anyone in my life or anybody in my background, or to not give people the opportunity to change. My family is entirely different now, super supportive, you know, like accepting of who I am and stuff. But that doesn't mean that as a kid, me being who I am, you know, things like that do hurt my feelings. And you know, I'm just sensitive. I've always been told that I was a sensitive kid, and I know that I was, and I'm a sensitive adult, you know, like those things have just like happened throughout my life. But it's just really interesting to see that, I guess, like how much I started getting into my shell with the fear of my family judging me. Because if we really, really think about it, my dream as a child was to be a star. Like it was to be a singer-songwriter. I was super inspired by Taylor Swift. I loved that she could like play her guitar and sing at the same time. And there were these love songs and they were just so catchy. And she had this like long blonde curly hair. And I mean, she was just like an inspiration to me. And I don't really listen to her as much now. Well, definitely not as much now, but you know, I wanted to act and I wanted to be on Disney Channel, and I would always see those casting auditions and I'm like, oh my God, I really want to go. Like, Mom, at the mall they're doing this. Like, we should do this. And I wanted to do modeling, and I've always wanted to be in the limelight. And my mom and dad will say, you see pictures of me as a kid, like I was always like this. If the camera was out, like I was posing. And here I am now at 28 years old, still in front of a camera, you know, just having the same dreams. And so, yeah, that's going to make me emotional. If you have a dream now, a dream that you've always had, you have to follow it. As much as it's so hard to like accept that you want more, you want to get out of your hometown, you want to travel, you know, you want to become the COO of a corporation, you want to invent something. As much as these things seem so far away, the longer that you spend your life working an ordinary job, in a way making ends meet, you're not feeding your soul. And that's what life is about. Like, life is so short. You're not even promised tomorrow. And here you are, like, not even spending 1 ounce of energy chasing your dream. Not even just to be like, well, what if it works? Instead, you're living in the, well, it won't. It doesn't happen for people like me. And that's why representation is so important. I'm actually thinking about doing a podcast episode about that. Representation is everything. You know, we didn't grow up seeing people who looked like us in movies. You know, it was like in novelas. And the people who did look like us, they changed their names because the industry was like, let's dilute this Hispanic culture. Let's give you a different last name and we'll say you're Italian, because of realistically how racist and how prejudiced people were. And so now it's so liberating and beautiful to see superheroes, you know, that look like people like me, you know, that look like people that I grew up around, you know, like whenever I first, like, Black Panther is a pivotal movie for that reason, because now you have Black people who can look at a movie screen and, you know, like, see themselves as a superhero, and a badass superhero at that. And like, how beautiful is that, you know? We used to have white Barbie dolls growing up, you know, they didn't look anything like us. They were blonde hair, blue-eyed, had a very skinny body type. And then now you have dolls that are a little bit thicker, dolls that have curly hair, dolls that are, you know, that have a variety of skin tones. Now you have a Black Little Mermaid, you know, that was not a thing. And so representation is so important. And that's a big reason why I've been documenting all this, is because I hope that through this process of me finding myself and finding, like, allowing this creative energy to flow through me, that it inspires somebody out there to chase their dreams, and that you can, and that people like us are able to have an opportunity to follow their dreams. Because for a very long time it was like, my parents didn't get the chance to follow their dreams, so I don't either. And now that's so different, you know. I talked to my parents about what career they would want to have. And, you know, it's sad that they're like, well, I'm just so far out in life and I've been doing what I've been doing so long that it's like, I'm not going to change paths. And it's crazy that God had like forced them into like changing their paths on their own. I still don't think that they're doing what their childhood self would want to do, but they're doing things now and challenging themselves now in different careers. And I think that that's amazing to watch, you know, my mom go from not having any PTO ever and working extra days out of the week and not getting paid to now having PTO, having summer breaks off, and, you know, like standing her ground. Like, this is what I'm asking for. This is what I want. And this is what I expect. And like, that's a badass. And like, I've watched my parents grow a lot, and that just means a lot to me, and it inspires me. And I think that that's a big reason why I've been able to chase my dreams, is because my parents have not settled, and you shouldn't ever settle. Always want more. And I remember my dad, you know, when they bought their recent house, he was like, oh, I kind of want this thing and that thing. And I was like, Dad, it's okay to have enough. And he's like, you should always want more. And I think there's a fine balance between both. Like, whenever I guess you reach your, this is good, this is plenty, you know, that's okay. But it is also okay to want more if that's what your heart desires. Owning a business is awesome, but if you want to own 5, that's okay. If you want to own 10, that's awesome. You know, like, and if you don't, that's okay. If you just want one and one establishment, this is the only burger place of its kind in this area, and it's unique and people travel here for it, then that's cool. But if you also want to make it into a chain, that is also cool too. So like, I think it's important to not limit people and their dreams and their goals, because it's their goals and their dreams. Who am I to tell you not to follow your dreams? Let's just see what message you have for us. Maybe for the rest of the month of April. Okay, Queen of, okay. Aww. Okay, I see gifts. I see a gift. Aww. Okay, so it's something's on the cusp of happening. Okay. Yeah. I see like an ego death. I see a death in some way, shape, or form. I see healing. I see a lot of healing. I see a lot of letting go. A lot of just trusting. I see, the death. Speaking of that, I see a lot of like letting go of your old life. I see a lot of that. I also see like fuck y'all, like this is my life, like standing your ground. I see a lot of like standing your ground and a lot of like, no, this is mine, this is what's gonna happen. I'm so emotional right now. I have put so much faith into God and into my routines and into myself lately. And this reading is just so beautiful. So beautiful. And I just see a lot of amazing things happening and unfolding this month. I decided to do it for the month, this reading for the month, and I just see so many amazing things, and I'm truthfully so excited. It's a lot of cards too. A lot of them just kept like popping out. Let me show you. This deck I got for this specific reason. Like, look at how pretty. They like glow. It's like a rainbow. But look at how beautiful. It's a lot of amazing things happening. A lot of letting go of the past is what I see. Whenever I do tarot readings, I reference the book sometimes. But for the most part, I am just allowing my intuition to tell me what I'm hearing or what I'm seeing. And what I'm seeing right now is a lot of ego death, a lot of letting go of my old life, a lot of letting go of anxiety and of things that... a lot of like me holding myself back. I've held myself back a lot in my life. And I see a lot of just like being rewarded for trusting myself and for just being who I am. Like, I see a lot of gifts, a lot of abundance. I see a lot of love. I see a lot of happiness, a lot of things that I just like have always deserved, but I didn't necessarily feel like I deserved it. But like now I do. I feel and I know that I deserve it. And so like it's mine. It's mine. It's mine because I want it. It's mine because I'm stepping into it. It's mine because I
because it's fucking mine. That's why. It's mine because it's mine. Because it's meant for me and only me. And look at how many cards came out. So many freaking cards came out. I feel so grateful. I feel so blessed. I'm gonna see if any other cards want to be pulled. We're just gonna throw y'all there. Oh well, y'all will just stay there. Any final cards, spirit, angels? Okay. Thank you for this reading. I see a lot of adventures. I see a lot of like, look at what I fucking did. I did that. Like, I made it happen. And of course, it's not entirely alone. It's with the people who watch the podcast, the people who are watching this episode, the people who continuously support me. It's with the support of everybody, but it is also just because I am trying. I am waking up and trying my best, and that is like a motto that I live by now. That's all that you can ever do is just like wake up and try your fucking best. Like, life is too short to wake up and just not try. And if I'm gonna try, I'm gonna give it the all that I have. I'm not gonna half-ass things. And you know, some days maybe my all is a little bit less. Like, if I have a typo in the podcast, it's that I didn't get to proof it so many times, you know, or like, but that's fine. That was my best in that moment, and done is better than perfect. And so, you know, it's like finding that balance of like not obsessing over things and not holding yourself back because things are not perfect. But it's also about like waking up and trying your best. All that you can ever do. Okay, I'm ready to take on the day.
I decided to wear some makeup today, and I am very excited. It is Friday. Tomorrow we are going to Collecticon. I will be vlogging it. I will be cosplaying it too. I'm not sure what to wear because some of the cosplays are a little like bootylicious, and it said that things should be appropriate for all ages, and I'm not trying to scar these little kids or whatever, but I also am like, if I see somebody there with a bootylicious, tittylicious outfit, I'll be so upset because then I could have been showing, you know, popping out and showing out, you know what I'm saying? So yesterday, I had to push myself to finish reading for week 2. I was like, a few more pages, just because the reading it's dense, you know, it's a lot to be processing and a lot to be thinking about and like reflecting, and so it can be really heavy to do. And so today I'm going to be obviously doing my morning pages. I have a podcast episode to film for Monday, and I kind of want to film it today. The weather's a little bit better, so maybe I can just film it in the truck, like by the park or something, because I don't really feel like layering. And yeah, I'm just excited. I've been dreaming a lot more. I have been doing my spiritual routine a lot more religiously and even like throughout the day. And I just feel more connected to my ancestors and to my higher self, and it just feels really good. Yesterday I drew, and you know, I was given critiques even though I didn't ask for it. And, you know, I told the person, they're like, oh, why don't you do this a little bit different or whatever. And that's actually something that's talked about in the book, that people who are blocked themselves are the first to be like, I don't like it. There's something wrong with it. You should fix this. However, 1, you didn't ask for their opinion. 2, you also shouldn't care about their opinion because you didn't make it for them. 3, it's like she says, blocked artists are people who basically are the first to give an opinion or critique something, or to be like, I could do it better. Maybe they were thinking that subconsciously, right? Like, oh, I bet I could do that better. But they're not doing anything point blank, period. They're not doing anything at all to prove or show or to create and do it better, right? You know, so it's important to not allow those people who are blocked to be around you, because then they can reblock you. And I feel like a lot of energy is flowing through me. I've had a lot of songs flow through me. I was really inspired yesterday by Cristian Nodal's, I think the song's called Ame. It came out yesterday. The music video was beautiful. The lyrics were amazing. You know, I would love to write music in Spanish. And so that's something that like I've done occasionally throughout my life. I have like my voice notes is filled with songs. I would be driving, you know, all the time in college, and songs would just come up into my head, and I'd have lyrics, and I'd have the melody and the beat. And, you know, like I do sometimes just like get a beat in my head, and I'm like, okay, like let's just add it to here, and one day I'll get to it, right? Like one day I'm going to do something with it. And I think that time is approaching very soon. I obviously am still like learning how to play my uke. I'm not super familiar with playing instruments, you know, like that's something that I've been doing a lot more lately. I mean, honestly, doing it like I think I've done it like 2, 3 times since we've started this. And that's more than I've done in the past, like year and a half, 2 years, maybe even since I was in college trying to do it. Cause like, I honestly probably has been since like college, because I haven't really been consistent with it. So that is a huge W. I don't care what anybody says. Like, bitch, you only picked it up twice. Well, that's twice more than I have in like 5+ years. Anywho, we're gonna do these morning pages, and then I am going to get my day started. I got my little gym fit. This is brought to you by my sister. Thank you, Sissy, for spoiling me and for letting me be a little baddie at the gym. That's thanks to you. And so yeah, I'm excited for today. I'm excited for this weekend. I'm just excited for life in general. Like today, I was lighting my incense in the morning. I haven't gone on social media at all. And it just feels great to just be listening to yourself. Like I had a different shirt on, and then I was like, no, I'm not really set on this. Like, let's just try something else. And like, kind of just doing what feels right for you. And like, if something doesn't feel right for you, pivoting and doing it until something does feel right for you. So like say for example, you're like, I really want to eat Subway, and then you pull up to the Subway parking lot and you're like, no, I really want Chick-fil-A. And then you drive to Chick-fil-A, and then you're like, I just really want a stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut. And then you move your way there. But it's, I mean, this is such a like crazy example, but it's like, it's about, you know, allowing yourself to figure out what you want. Because a lot of times you're like, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want. Okay, well, what are the steps that we need to take to get you to know what you want? So maybe it's getting out. Okay, first step, let's get out of the house. Let's get in the car. Second step, okay, let's just drive to the first place that we can think of. Okay, well, I know I want food. I don't want this, you know, and then so it's a process, right? It's a process. Like you are unraveling what it is that you want. It even reminds me, so like, for example, my mom won't go out to eat to a lot of places because my dad is picky, or like, well, she'll say that, and my dad's like, I'm not picky. Or like, you know, we just don't like their food, or we don't like this, we don't like that. And or she'll be like, she goes like this a lot, like, no, like, I don't want that. And I'll give her like so many options. But it is also okay whenever you're in a relationship to go to one place and this person gets what they want, and then you drive somewhere else and that person gets what they want. Like that is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Even if you want to pick it up to go, if you want to you know, just get fast food, you know, obviously this works best for like drive-throughs or stuff like that, but like it is okay for you to want different things than the people around you. It is okay for your body to be craving something different than those around you. And why spend money on something that you don't want? You know, like on something that you're not craving, on something that you're not wanting, or something that you don't enjoy. Like that applies to anything in life. Why like I have a little cousin who was playing the piano, and I believe it was the violin. He's the only person in my family that I know that has, well, I'm remembering now that he has played instruments before. And he just stopped out of nowhere. And we were like, I asked him, I was like, hey, why did you stop? Like, is it, you know, because there was a lot of pressure on you? Like, what was happening? And he was like, I just got bored of it. And you know, I wonder if there was a block there, or if he just actually was like, you know, I really don't want to play instruments, you know, like this was put on me versus like me wanting to do it. So it's important to ask yourself these questions because they help you understand yourself and why it is that you're feeling some type of way, you know, like figure out who you are, what your wants and what your needs are. And slowly but surely, everything will line into place for you. Did you hear my hip? That was my hip.
One of the things I'm realizing is that I have this perception that wealthy people are selfish and that they don't care about the environment and they don't care about people, and that's not true. There are plenty of wealthy people, like I was writing now, like Zac Efron, like he has documentaries about, or docu-series about the environment and the ocean and the coral reefs and how we need to be protecting them. And it's like, there's people out there who are activists for the environment and for the planet, and they are wealthy. And I just have this perception of like one type of wealthy person, one type of millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire. And it's like, that's just one type of person, that's not all the other people who are activists for human rights. Even like Kaylani, she's a huge advocate for human rights, for equality, for trans rights and things like that. And so it's like, if they can be that and still remain themselves with a large, or like, I guess with financial freedom, why do I think that I can't be like that? Why do I think that money changes people when it can positively impact or affect people? It can give people the means to be able to donate or to give back in ways that they couldn't before. So, things to just think about.
Been up since 6 something. Don't mind Miko chilling there. I am going to Collecticon here in a little bit. It's a TCG event, and I'm cosplaying Daki from Demon Slayer. I had to make it a little bit PG because they said that kids of all ages would be there. But if I see somebody with the ass cheeks out, I'm gonna let mine free. Okay, I'm just saying. So I'm super hungry, ready to start these morning pages. I'll be adding my lipstick after I eat because it's going to be messy because I think I'm going to do red. So onto these morning pages, and then on our way to Collecticon. Miko, say hi. What do you have to say to the world? Oh. He said, bye, Felicia. That's what he said. We're officially here at Collecticon.
Depends. I'm around 30.
Okay.
They range from like 30 to 50. Thank you so much.
I basically got up this morning and I just started deep cleaning the house, and the only brain game I have left is my Sudoku. It's been a tough puzzle for today. But one thing or another happened, and I just didn't end up doing my morning pages or working on the artist way at all. But I did finish up tomorrow's episode for the podcast. And I got really triggered today. Somebody close to me essentially told me, like in terms of the podcast, and basically that they don't believe in me, that because they're not seeing results fast, that it's basically not going to happen for me. And it's really disheartening whenever, that's not the point of doing anything. The point of me releasing the podcast was for me to have a space to be able to vent and to talk and to create without like any pressure. And so it was just really hurtful because, now I can see like a clearer vision for it, and I can see the potential of it growing. But it really hurt me that this person told me that. And they said, are you going to be in your 90s still hoping for a dream to happen for you? And that like struck a chord in me. I was told a lot growing up that I couldn't do things. And so I get very triggered whenever people tell me that I'm not capable of doing something, that, it's just not possible for me. And so it really hurt my feelings. I had like a breakdown because it's like, how can you say that to somebody? And also like, lately I've been able to see things so clearly for myself. Like I really see a vision. I really see the potential. I really see where this could go. And then the fact that somebody close to me is just like, well, it's not going to happen for you. And after I, processed it all, I was like, they're just projecting onto me. This is somebody who works a normal job, who, has the desire to do things that are artistic, to do things that are like not your stereotypical 9-to-5 job. They have this desire to own businesses and to be an entrepreneur, but much like they say in the artist way, you're going to be surrounded and met with a lot of like blocks, but you just have to like keep pushing through it. And it really did hurt my feelings. So it's probably what these, I guess, Mimi's pages are gonna be about, because we're about to go Mimi here in a little bit because it's late. It's 9. Like, I'm ready for bed. I've had a long day. I cried, and whenever I cry, I just feel so much more exhausted. And so tomorrow I have a lot to do. I'm honestly, we'll have to see how much I get done for the artist way tomorrow, because I'm basically just like shoving everything into one day just because my weekend was very exhausting. But I mean, at least I'm doing my artist pages, right? And I didn't film any TikToks of me as Docky. I will be posting the cosplay pictures, and I was like, fuck, I didn't film any TikToks, but it's whatever. I'm sure I can just do the makeup and wear the outfit again. It's just kind of exhausting whenever you do all of it like one day and then you don't get all the content that you need. But it was just a long day. I'd gotten up like at 6 something, stayed up late the night before, and then lack of sleep adds up. I did bake chocolate chip banana bread, so we'll be eating that so I can feel better, because not every day looks the same, and most days don't look like this for me. It's really not common for me to have a day like this. And it wasn't even the whole day. Yeah, like, fuck what anybody else says. Like, what matters is what you think about yourself and the vision that you have for yourself and the path that's meant for you. Not everybody's going to understand it, and it's not for them to understand, but it does kind of make you wonder, are people going to grow with you or grow apart from you? Because my circle's already so small, but sometimes it just feels like it's getting smaller and smaller, but it's only making room for the people who are meant to be there versus, the people who are just there but secretly preying on your downfall. That's the last thing that I want, is people close to me to be like wishing bad upon me, because I wouldn't do that to them. So just heavy. I just got to write it all out. And I just want to remind y'all that sometimes we just gotta sleep and like let go of the day before us. Again, yesterday wasn't a terrible day. I just had like a low point during the day. But I'm ready to do my morning pages. I spent the morning meditating, and I really want to do a tarot reading today, and just kind of just keep the ball rolling on me and myself, because that's all that I can ultimately do, is just focus on myself. And honestly, it's one of my favorite things to do. I love pouring back into myself. I feel like it is the most rewarding thing to do, because the more that I pour into myself, the more that I find that I have the capacity to give to others, to sit there and to listen. I mean, sometimes during conversations, previously in my life, I would just like be thinking about all the things that I had to do, and I'm like, does this person even know that I'm not paying attention to them? And I would just have these revolving thoughts. And now I try to remind myself, like, hanging out with somebody, like, try not to be on your phone, like I swear there's always so many fire truck things happening. I'm sure you heard that. So anywho, we're going to get started on morning pages. And then in the artist way, I probably will be a little behind on the exercises. But, we'll just see things as they go. Thankfully, this time is mostly just writing like down affirmations and stuff like that. And then like adding... there will be some drawing that has to happen, but we'll see. We'll take care of that whenever we get there. But for now, morning pages. And my hand be hurting. I know that I mentioned that before. So yeah. So this is basically, today is like the end of week 2. And it's crazy that I've already been challenged by people, like making me question myself. I do think cosplaying on Saturday helped me be creative, in a different way, because I've been drawing a lot, and, lately I've also been in my head about drawing, and it's just like mostly about, I guess, like posting things. I did write some stuff. I can share one of them with you. I think I'm going to end up posting one of them onto TikTok. I could actually film that today on my personal page. Okay, we'll just share it with you all. April 11th, 2025, 8:40 p.m. The hair on my body you tell me to wax, pull, and yank. But you tell me to grow the hair from my head so that it can be long and feminine. You tell me to shave my face, that not a hair should be in sight. Are you gonna shave? You ask me every single night. See, the hair on my body is meant to be there. If it weren't, why does it grow? Just like the grass belongs to the earth, my hair belongs in my ecosystem. It's the place where my flowers can bloom and my body can protect itself from evil horrors like you. See, what I do with my hair is me taking me back my power that you took from me, because you thought it was yours, or maybe even ours. But you see, much like my body doesn't belong to you, neither does my hair. And I can do whatever the fuck I want with it. And I don't care if you stare. Much like the owner of a house, I can have a manicured lawn if I decide to, or I can let the grass grow into a bush, allow the weeds to show. Oh, that'll really make you push. See, the hair on my body exists to prevent moisture, very much needed with thirsty men like you. To all the girlies listening to this poem, I bid you adieu. To all of the misogynistic men, I say, fuck you. I don't know how that came to me. I was literally, I think I had just gotten out of the shower, or I was doing my makeup. I remember like being in the bathroom, and I think I had just gotten out of the shower, and I might have like shaven my legs, because I think this was the day before Collecticon. And then I'm like getting dressed, and I'm like, I need to write this down because it's gonna leave me. And then I ended up finishing writing it in bed, and I was like, oh, it is what it is. Like, it's, I don't know, I'm just proud of myself to be writing again, and writing just like more consistently, because writing is something that I'm very, very passionate about. And so it just feels nice to just like write and not care. You know what I mean? Like, writing is one of those things where I feel like I feel most safe. And I'm not sure. It's honestly probably because a lot of my teachers who have like mentored me in my writing, they were always super supportive. I don't think I've ever had a writing teacher not be supportive. Everybody's always been like, Gabby, you're so talented. Gabby, you're so creative. I think only one time I had like a bad experience, and that was when I was in the 3rd grade. It was my first FCAT writes. And if you don't know what that is, it's like back in the day, Florida's standardized testing. And so I had to write an essay, and it basically was about like, if your principal walks in with a mysterious suitcase, what do you think is inside? And me, because I use the word mysterious, I'm like, there's bombs, there's guns, there's knives, there's like, it's mysterious. Like, that word specifically like guided me to that direction. And they ended up calling my parents into the office, and they were like, hey, listen, Gabby wrote this paper, and we're just really concerned about what's happening at home. What is she watching? What is she being exposed to? And I never watched really stuff like that. I mean, I would watch action movies, but I mean, I was so little, I wasn't like, 9/11 had happened at that point, so maybe that had influenced some of it. I'm not sure. My parents still have the paper. It's somewhere in like all my stuff at home. I gotta find it. And yeah, it was. That's probably like my only like bad experience. And it was just like, I wouldn't even really call it entirely a bad experience. It was just maybe that I was a little misunderstood, or teachers were concerned, and I feel like that's valid. But it was also a creative writing paper, and they used the word mysterious, and like, I'm not going to put that there is stuffed animals in a mysterious suitcase, because it's mysterious, Stuffed animals would go into a rainbow suitcase that is fun and has sparkles, like what else would my brain have gone to if by using the word mysterious? What would you have written about if they said your principal had a mysterious suitcase? Be real. Let me know in the comments what it is that you would have written about.
This is future Gabby here. Girly Pop, they cannot hear a word that you're saying. And we need to start filming outros for these videos, because We did not think about that really at all. But thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in week 3 of The Artist Way.